welcome everybody to a Friday night here in lovely San Antonio. Here we have our Disc and That podcast featuring Southpaw Rob and C-Rod.
What's going on, y'all? How's it going? Long week. Hope y'all got a drink going already. But we're here. We're excited. Ready to roll.
Oh yeah, we got some special guests on today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and talk a little bit about themselves, but there's been a lot going on in the disc golf scene and we can't wait to talk about it. And remember to go to the Disc and That podcast on YouTube and on Facebook and all the social media platforms, as well as Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So you can find us. The audio will be available soon. Obviously, this is not live, but we're working there. So bear with us, but thank you so much for having it, and we can't wait to share what's going on with these special guests.
And continue to like, subscribe, pass along. That's how we were able to get this out fast for you. But again, as Rob said, excited today. I guess if you want to know what's going on in the community, we got the two right people sitting right in front of us to
they know what's going on.
So let you know what's going on.
So I'll go ahead and let them introduce themselves, but they need really no introduction, but I'll let them do it.
I'm Kevin Monahan.
Amy Monahan.
All right.
What y'all's PDJ is? Let them know.
131904.
109356, I think.
All right.
Let's them up. That way you know who you are.
99% sure.
So
Put some stats to the name.
Oh yeah, some definite stats to the name, and but thank you so much. They've done so much in the community, and that's why we would love to have them on. I know there's some new exciting news for Miss Amy. And Kevin's been working hard as well, and he's been on the scene. I love playing against him. He's in my field, in my division and stuff like that. He's also in C-Rod's. So we love playing with him. Great guy. But we'll kind of go ahead and get started. And Amy, kind of tell us what's going on. What's going on lately?
Well, with me personally, I just got sponsored by Mint Discs.
Shut up.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I guess I made a decision maybe a week ago. We said 8 days ago, and so it's exciting, it's new, and it's fun. So trying to throw some more mint in the bag when I'm playing.
How much mint did you bag before?
I have an Apex Bobcat that is pretty much my main approach disc, and so that and I think medium profit. So both of those, and then I threw free cellos here and there, and I really like jackalopes, but I never really bagged them permanently.
Okay.
And so kind of threw those back in my bag recently. So
well, looks like you're probably be
And well deserved.
getting a new bag here soon.
Oh yeah. Any surprises? Anything that you're looking forward to as far as trying out? I know there's some new stuff coming out. We'll talk about it here in a minute. But anything you're looking forward to that you touch, put it in your hand, and it's just like, man, I can't wait to bag this.
As far as new, really like the UFO putters right now. I just got them in the mail today. Started putting.
What are the numbers on that? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you remember?
Man, I want to say it's just right under a profit between a bullet and a profit.
A little more understable or overstable?
Little less understable than a profit, more overstable than a bullet from what I'm.
I think so.
A lot of glide?
Yeah, I only got them, so I don't. They went in, but it wasn't too far away.
All
so.
right.
They're going in. It's gotta work.
So we'll come back to kind of how that whole myth started. And Kevin, what's going on? What's going on with you? And this is your lovely wife, or them that everybody that doesn't know. I'll let them talk about their families and stuff like that, and their awesome people that they have in their lives, and what's going on, and their world in disc golf.
Yeah.
So they're a very unique couple.
Yeah, for me right now it's just course prep. We're fixing to have our first sanctioned tournament out at my course that I created. So yeah, that's nice. In my mind right now. We just got the new 18 brand new Mach 7 baskets, so
I love the Mach 7s.
I'm stoked about them. I don't know.
That's
it's
a selling point on its own.
Yeah, for me it's been like, I feel like a kid at Christmas just hanging out with them, just being around the baskets. I don't know. It's amazing.
What's the difference in your opinion? I haven't had the opportunity to play on one yet. So
tell me.
Well, just like going from the baskets that I had, like the whole transformation from the tones, people that had played the course years ago, into all the conglomeration of poorly made baskets, just upgrading to the highest level is just like.
Does it catch better? Is that?
Oh, definitely. And then just aesthetics too, they look great, and the brand now, the sound of it, they got a great sheen to it.
Oh yeah, I love the sound of it.
Excited.
I've only put it on them once, and but they are definitely an upgrade and stuff like that. So what made you want to do that? The chorus did it just kind of follow? Was that kind of a natural thing that came onto the ranch, or kind of how did that come to be?
So the course really, I would say this starts like 15 years ago. I was on a road trip in Montana, and I was about maybe an hour south of Missoula, Montana, which is a great course there. They just had recently was it Blue Sky Championship, they used to call it.
That's right.
But either way, I was kind of on a road trip and kind of having like a rough time in this road trip. And this was like pre-cell phone days. So I kind of wanted to go play disc golf. So I had to like go to the library, get on the internet, go on disc golf course review. And
That's before UDisc and all that.
Yeah, way
stuff.
before UDisc. Yeah, disc golf course review. The old schoolers know about that.
Yeah, and
But,
that gives you an idea, of how long they've been involved in the disc golf world. They're not COVID boomers like a lot of us out there.
So yeah, it was like, then I saw a course, it was like, 5 minutes away. It was like, they're having a tournament this weekend. It was like live music, camping, disc golf. And I was like, this is mind blowing to me. This is like everything that I like. So went and checked out the course, and the tournament was already going, and I was actually able to jump in for the second round. They put me on, which I imagine was like maybe the MA4, MA3. I'm not sure if it was even sanctioned or not. And I just proceeded to have like one of the rounds of my life up to that time. It just totally crushed it, I felt like, and ended up just like hanging out with these people all weekend. It was like a guy who had built this course, he called it Spiritwood, and he had all his buddies in town for the tournament, and they just basically hung out all weekend, big tournament, all camped, they all jammed together, played live music, and yeah, just really jived with the guys, and it was an amazing time, and yeah, it just inspired me to want to do it.
So what was the biggest challenge? Oh, let's talk about where it's at first and foremost, roughly relative to where this course is at in respect to San Antonio.
So yeah, I would say on the north side of San Antonio, basically right outside the city limits. So outside 1604 in Blanco, about 10 or 15 minutes. So maybe about 25 minutes from McLean if you play.
Going towards Valverde?
Going towards Valverde.
Gotcha. And so when you had this idea on the course, I mean, I know you mentioned it's your parents' ranch or so?
Yeah, so, I had it in my mind, I was like, man, I need to build my own course someday, just like through interacting with these guys and this great experience that I had. And then just a couple of years later, my dad just told me that he bought some property, and I kind of had the luck to be able to start working out there. There was a lot of like cedar trees that needed clearing, a lot of kind of deconstruction and construction, and I was able to build the course just while I was working, basically.
Now that was my wonder. I was like, hold on, did you get the land especially for the course, or did you already have it?
Definitely not.
Okay.
And my dad is not a disc golfer and stuff, but big props to him for letting me do it. When I first asked him, I was like, hey, you mind if I build a disc golf course out here? He just kind of gave me this laughing, like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then he didn't really get how much time I was really going to put into it.
And he didn't think that there's going to be probably over 100 cars in a few days.
Yeah,
a few weeks.
Exactly.
Oh man, I guess those are some challenges that I'm sure are good things, but challenges that you guys probably are. And Amy, and getting back to Amy, like you've been involved in a lot of organization of stuff, and especially here, you're very involved in the community, especially in women's disc golf, and great advocate for, and just a great person. You're a great person, and a lot of people look up to you, and the disc golf community, they speak nothing but high things about you. Same thing with your husband, Kevin. And tell us a little bit about, some of your work that you've done and how that came to be.
And your role as well. Like, what role do you play in the community? What's your title?
What are you involved in right now? What's going on with Amy?
Dragon Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Title, unofficial title. Some
Unofficial
people
title.
have coined Dragon Queen, but I don't really like titles, honestly. I guess I'll start with the women's club, because that's really kind of got what pushed me into kind of the bigger scene. I played casual disc golf from 2009 up to 2017. I never played a tournament until 2018. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so I started playing in 2009. I love the sport, and it was just friends hanging out, playing the sport. I remember the day, and actually the hole, it was Seawright hole 2, when I threw a disc for the first time and I got that snap.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was that feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there I was hooked. It was all,
Straight away home, right?
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Seawright's a good one in Austin. For those of you that
Yeah.
don't know, it's in Austin. Check it out.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
great feeling. It's almost like you hear that snap and it's hard that it's not going to be a good shot sometimes.
And then the other thing is that, a lot of people get frustrated, they want to play well and stuff like that, but it's like ball golf. Like a lot of people keep coming back for that one great shot. And that's what keeps them the flight of it. And for you to have that moment and remember it, I'm sure a lot of beginners and a lot of people who are up and coming in the disc golf world, once they finally get that form and they get the flight that they think it should be, I think that's where they're hooked. I know that's when I was hooked. Just like you said, I still remember mine too.
Yeah, even just having that one shot, fighting my brother yesterday, real quick. He threw a shot, bad shot, then threw the next one, and like instantly was like, I quit, I'm done. Threw the next one and just chained it up from like 200. He's like, man, it just doesn't let me leave.
I love this game.
Yeah, and then back to loving it, man. So yeah, that's it's cool stuff. But
it's an online battle. But tell us a little bit about the women's disc golf community.
Man, it's great. It's growing.
It is. I noticed that.
Really, we had a pretty, I guess, when I started playing tournaments in 2018, it was hard for me to scrounge together a card for a tournament of women, let alone have like a women's league in San Antonio.
Right.
And so I spent kind of the first couple of years of me playing tournaments just reaching out to all the women I knew to see if they could come make a card with me for a tournament.
Come face me, please.
Yeah. And it wasn't really like I didn't really care about winning then. I more cared about having fun.
Mm-hmm.
I started playing tournaments because I was a new mom, and that was kind of my strategy to take care of my mental health. That's the only reason I got a PDGA number in 2018 was my son was born, and I jumped into tournaments, and so. But from there, the women's club kind of came out of a whole lot of things building up. COVID was one of the main things. Was that the boom in disc golf participation met a boom in women playing too.
Did you see that happen here in San Antonio as well?
Oh yeah.
Instantly?
And honestly, it was like I think there was spring of 21. There's probably once a week a woman was posting, "Is there a women's league in the area? Is there
Where can I play? Where can I play?" I saw that.
Where can I play with women? And I had kind of coordinated with women that I knew. We played every Sunday. A few of us already then, so we invite them out to play with us. And kind of lots of casual rounds, lots of fun, but it wasn't an official league. It wasn't an official group.
And you were rocking it. Maybe turn the camera over there so they can see it.
Oh, yeah, these are jerseys this year.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, pretty sweet. But yeah, so going from so 2021, we kind of I started off the women's league, or kind of re-erupted in San Antonio. So there have been multiple iterations of women's league over the last probably 15 years in San Antonio. The Lolos, kind of in the 20. I'm not quite sure when they started, but 2010 to 2015 is when I kind of knew about the Lolos. I played with them here and there. Wasn't really too involved. Wasn't too serious back then either. And then Annie Engstrom started San Antonio Women's Disc Golfers in 2019. Just kind of started a group going. COVID definitely kind of halted that a little bit. And so when it came to kind of me thinking about like starting the women's league or a women's scene back up again, it was kind of a no-brainer. There was a need in the community. So I kind of I went at it with I'm a very strategic person. I like to have a strategy in place before I start acting on it.
Right.
So I kind of developed kind of a strategy and some pillars that I think would help the women's club be successful and have longevity.
Yeah.
And so
Most definitely.
and so kind of based on that, I just started slowly doing league rounds. We started once a month league rounds at Out of Bounds.
Oh yeah. Out of Bounds in Citadel, Texas.
Yeah.
Shout out to Out of Bounds. A great place, great 9-hole course, and it's got 18 holes with 2 different tee boxes. They give away a lot of cash there for. They got Saturday Mini coming up tomorrow, but great guys. Love them. They do a lot for the community as well. Were you working with them? You were working with them, right? Or are you still working with them?
Yeah. So they were my main sponsor for the last year and a half. So
Are you still with them?
No, I was on the chain team, but that's a single sponsorship.
Single.
So I chose to go with Mint a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
But we are on excellent terms.
They're great guys.
Yeah, 100% back the women's league starting back up again. And honestly,
juniors too.
Yeah. They sponsor about 3 of our women on the OOB team. and a lot more people in the community. But they are, 100% invested in their community and growing disc golf.
Nice.
I love that women are out there and, kiddos, juniors, but I talk to disc golf about anybody who listens, to be honest with you. But you mentioned a really good point, about mental health and stuff like that. And I think it's important I know that's what it does for me. It's a break from what it is that I do and break from, I know C-Rod over here, I can't speak for him, but definitely, it's definitely good advice there. Definitely good advice on getting yourself out there. And I'm glad, thank you for sharing that. Kevin, so what has all this been like? You've been working with her, you've been doing the tournament scene. What have you been up to? What are you looking for?
Do y'all collaborate a lot? Like
talk about it or what's going on?
No. When Amy is busy doing her thing, my responsibility is our son George. So I would say I'm helping in that aspect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Amy's so organized and everything. She doesn't need any help with any of that sort of thing. But
So how much involvement do you have in? Well, I guess let's get back to the. I know a big thing coming for your first tournament. That's not a flex or a mini out at the ranch.
Is it a C or B tier? What is it?
It's a C tier.
C tier.
Nice.
First one will be a flex.
First one will be
First
a
one
flex.
flex, yeah.
Is it the day before or when is
It's next week, right?
Yeah, next Saturday, so September 2nd.
Okay, and they can find your course on UDisc?
Yeah.
On UDisc, okay.
Look it up, y'all.
And
Everyone's always
if somebody wants to go and play that course, what do they got to do?
Come play the flex.
Come play the flex?
Come play the tournament, yeah.
So it's kind of like the ranch up there in like where you kind of have to make arrangements to be there and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, unfortunately, that's not really up to us. It's my dad's house, and
oh yeah,
basically we're basically playing in his backyard. It's a
I love it.
Pretty nice backyard.
But thank you so much for adding that to San Antonio, and it adds a lot of variety and stuff. And I myself have not, and I probably will be there at the Flex and sign up for that tournament. And I look forward to it. I definitely got to go throw it in. You've been inviting me, and I have not been able to go.
It's
I've
one
always
of
had
those
something.
things too. Like Harvey Panic up when they had the Open at Austin, it was like they set that course up specifically for those days. So it's pretty cool. Go play a course a couple times a year, and then wait for and anticipation builds for the next one.
Yeah,
it's always cool.
Hopefully, we'll be doing something like quarterly, maybe like every 3 months.
Yeah,
that's kind of the plan.
Nice.
So that's what the future is holding. That's what you guys are. So what are you guys looking forward to as far as the course and maybe in your tournament play and then so whoever wants to go first.
And as far as the course, I'm just looking forward to sharing it with the community and really like letting them experience all the work Kevin's put into the layout. He's put so much thought into that. I don't know, it took you 2-3 years to really finalize the layout?
Oh yeah, I very much took my time. I was I'm a big proponent and just like Amy, just really strategizing the whole thing out. It's like I wanted to have the whole course laid out before I'm putting in a single hole. Although, I don't know, I've kind of got some other ideas about that too. But
yeah, and I think it was actually I think out at the Moody's disc golf course, his course became a little bit more interesting than my disc golf game that day. So I think we spent the whole back 9 just talking about what he did, the improvements he made, his thoughts behind all the holes, and I was like, dang, you really did.
And he knows disc golf. You're very intellectual when it comes in. You have a very high IQ for disc golf, both of y'all. And I think that's gonna bode well for y'all's course design and definitely knowing what's challenging, what kind of lines what kind of disc or what kind of
sure
flight
there's
you
forehand lines out there.
Oh, yeah.
there's a good amount of forehand lines.
For me, I'm lefty, so I don't know. Southpaw.
No. I heard it's fun. It's from your perspective, Kevin. I don't know if you're gonna play it. Kind of different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Course. I would too, but what is I guess what kind of course would you compare it to? Is it more like a McLean down here, or professional courses?
Yeah, I would say it's fairly similar to McLean. Maybe like a bit more elevation, maybe a little bit less opportunity to shoot over the trees. That was always big in my design. Is kind of if you're gonna play through trees, it's like
you're not gonna have that big spike hyzer.
Yeah, there's no spike.
There's no point in having a course that there's all these beautiful trees and you're not gonna play through them.
Yeah. So
Mandos everywhere. I love it.
But I would say it's a bit unique too. I don't know. In my mind, I've kind of done a lot of traveling around the country, playing a lot of different types of disc golf, and Central Texas disc golf really kind of has this feel to it, and I feel like that's kind of like a John Huck feel, really. And I wanted to, while I do love John Hook's design, I think he is a great course designer, and a lot of my inspiration has been from that, like Seawright. Like I fell in love with disc golf at Seawright, but it's like, I don't know. I wanted to branch out from that design and kind of have my own thing and have my own feeling to the course. And I think I did that. And I think, I don't know, my goals in my mind is the best disc golf course designer that I know about, especially in this area. He's like, he's done so much great work, you know, Circle C, Roy G, all the great courses, the ranch. And I feel like he's got that great thing where it's like, it always feels so unique. And I hope that I kind of.
I think he maximizes the space that he has, and
Absolutely.
he's painting these lines like in his head.
Yeah, and
I
you can
love it.
visualize the holes in your head. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, I know what that hole is. I know what it looks like.
And it always got that one touch and that one tree. It always seems around a corner or strategically placed where it makes the hole gettable, but it also makes the hole like a low ceiling or like a very strategic, beautiful paths in his just vision.
Yeah.
And I look forward to playing it. I look forward to doing that. When is signups open up and where can they sign up?
So signups for our tournament for October 7th will be Friday, September 1st. And then the signups for the flexes, they're already open.
Really? All right.
Yeah,
Sign up for that one.
yeah.
Definitely gonna sign up for that one.
You know how it goes. Day before, you get what 50, 60 signups.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
San Antonio's notorious for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for signing up a little late
Yeah,
and
so
stuff. But
As far as layout goes, I mean, what's the par? I mean, what par threes, par fours?
So mostly all par threes. I like to kind of think of that as like kind of like more old school style disc golf, you know, mostly par threes, and there's just one par four, so par 55.
Okay, cool, nice.
what's the average distance roughly? And you know, it
I would-
rating wise, what do you think is gonna be over 900?
Over 900?
Yeah, over 900. What do you think that they're gonna be under? What,
Man,
4 or
I-
5?
I always expected the course to I thought people were going to come out there and just shred, and then I'd throw a mini and no one would shoot under par. So, I'm not
Plus
sure.
2, plus 1, probably. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
So minus
I would
4
say-
is maybe 1,000 rated.
That would be really very surprising. Now, I would say
wow.
Well, what's the record out there, right? 7 down?
8 down. Mason
8
Ford
down.
holds the record at 8 down.
Okay.
I've
So if
seen it.
Mason's shooting minus 8, it's
Shooting
probably gonna be
950,
minus 4 is gonna be above 950 for sure.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, it'll be interesting though.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Maybe I'll mess
Should
up
be
the
cool.
ratings. My rating's not very high, so maybe I'll shoot good.
That's
Mess it up for everyone else. We'll see.
Yeah, well, no, that's exciting. I think I'm gonna find myself there, guys. As I said, go on, just be on the lookout. I believe you said next Friday. So
Yeah, Friday, September 1st. And we will have division caps, so I would recommend jumping in and not waiting. But, we'll see.
And what are y'all looking to do? Are y'all doing just for I know for like the AMs and whatnot? You doing a players pack with that? Anything like that?
Yeah, we'll have one disc from Mint
Nice.
that'll be stamped with the tournament logo, and then we actually just bought some Zing minis with Kodiak's face on them.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
So Kodiak's our dog.
Kodiak mini.
For those that don't know, it's a
Cool
Kodiak
dog. It's the
mini.
coolest, most chill
Yeah.
dog ever.
He's the best, probably the best disc golf dog in the world. So
Nice.
But yeah, so that'll be the players pack, and then it's really, and Kevin's real big on affordable tournaments, and so everything we throw out there we want to be very affordable, and so our tournaments is just $55. That includes the green fee. So
Nice.
Nice.
it's just not too expensive,
Yeah.
kind of right there in the middle.
Feels
and
good
then
not
kind of the
paying
same with
100
the-
for one
Yeah.
for once.
Yeah,
And just one day, so, you don't got to commit.
One
to the
round,
weekend.
one day.
Two rounds.
One day.
2 rounds one
Okay,
day.
cool.
All days.
I actually like those. Sometimes I'm like, oh, because whenever outside, like at Moody's and stuff, that's a long day out there, 2 rounds.
Oh
But
my gosh, I thought that.
but it's like also my favorite tournament to play. So it's like every year I find myself like, oh man, 2 rounds. Why am I going to do this to myself again? But then it's like I have the most fun I've ever had. And then
I love that drive up there too. We usually
Oh,
drive
yeah,
up
it's
together
good
and
for
go
the
see ride.
scene.
And it's a nice little ride up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the background. I'm from the country personally. And
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
city boards. John Jay or where'd you go?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like I got John Jay. Burbank.
But anyways, I know y'all mentioned now, Amy, you said you started out Seawright. Just real quick, because I have a big, group of friends out in Austin and stuff like that too. Did y'all live there before? Y'all just used to play over there a lot?
we lived there at different times. We both played disc golf before we met, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that come to be?
We actually was set up by friends. I think maybe it was like my brother knew your roommate. maybe.
Yeah.
There's maybe a couple other people too. It
You
was
play
kind of
disc
like,
golf? You play disc golf?
That's-
Yeah.
Here's your hand.
it's like, yeah, our circles were
Pretty
kind
much
of
it.
converging. It was in San Marcos at the time.
That's
Wow,
awesome.
San Marcos. You lived in San Marcos, or who did?
We lived it.
But yeah,
We actually lived just a few houses down when we met. It was like in the same
Really?
neighborhood.
I lived in San Marcos from like 2002 to 2008.
1960.
1960. I went to Texas State, you know what, Bobcats. No, but that's awesome. And there's that beautiful course over there. I keep talking about Flying Armadillo. You've never played Flying Armadillo over there in San Marcos.
Did y'all play it when you were there?
it was.
Oh,
in-
absolutely.
Well, I'm trying to think. I moved away from San Marcos in 2012.
When did that?
So I think they opened after I moved to New Braunfels, but yeah.
They did a lot of things, and that Michael, man, he's got a vision, and he's
Oh, yeah.
he's a hard worker over there, and he's got some help, but he's done a great job over there.
So going back to it, right? I guess finishing it off. I mean, what's the vision you see with Monahan Ranch disc golf course? I know you mentioned quarterly. I mean, are you planning to maybe go to a B tier? You know, kind of keep it growing to something more. I mean, what do you see?
Man, I don't worry about that sort of thing. I don't know if Andy's thinking in those terms. You know, my dream is to like kind of have like you know, like kind of my hero players have their
Yeah.
be out there someday and play the course with me and just tell me like, hey, sweet course, man. They're, you know,
Yeah, those skins
Oh, yeah.
match or something.
Oh yeah.
yeah. As far as like a big tournament,
Yeah, that would be cool.
yeah, that'll also be cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Amy, what are you looking forward to? What's your vision for your actual now that you got the men's sponsorship? And we'll talk about the disc here in a minute, the new disc that men's come out with. But what are you looking forward to, and what's your goals?
And I guess just to I mean, I guess let us know what your goals are because you're involved in a lot, right? First ACDC, then Women's League, and yourself, right? You're also a player. So what are you
Is
looking
the tour
forward to?
coming up, or what are you
Yeah,
thinking?
no.
What are you thinking?
No, I'm not going to go on tour anytime soon. You know, honestly, like it'd be great in the future. But this isn't my choice. If my son picked up disc golf and we start touring with him, that'd be heaven.
Oh, yeah.
Does he play now?
He'll throw. We purposely don't push it on him.
Okay.
So
How old is he?
He's 5.
5. Okay.
So-
I
That's
got
fun
a
age.
5-year-old
Yeah.
too. And the reason I asked, sorry, I won't interrupt too long, but I guess shout out Texas Junior Disc Golf. Thomas Perks actually runs them out there. They sponsored my kids recently, so that's why I asked because they're always, if anything, it isn't one of those teams where it's like, oh, you have to make the team. Like they're looking for people to be on their team right now just to help grow the sport and support them. So maybe we can get with that on that later in case maybe he starts throwing it a little bit more than I planned.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, speaking of Thomas Perks, though, George did do one thing. It wasn't the Young at Heart official one, but it was another thing that Thomas
Right,
was done.
they do, yeah. So they actually got a Dillo coming up tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, my kids unfortunately can't play this weekend, but they play every other weekend, or every time they have it, and it's a C tier at the small course. They actually just did a C tier at the big course a month ago. And what's crazy is you're just seeing kids go out there who don't have a passion for it, but are interested. Where it's like they're not taking it serious, but they're going out there and throwing to the kids who are, going out to worlds and stuff like that. So we saw a big variety of that, and just seeing them throw that, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, in case y'all didn't know about that, which it's hard to believe y'all didn't know about something going on in the community, but maybe that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So somebody new getting into disc golf, what would be your advice?
And back to your vision as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she didn't finish.
I'll do both.
Oh, you're gonna go all ADHD
Okay,
over here.
I'll try to make it simple. So my personal vision is to, and honestly, I stumbled into leading the women's league. I kind of stumbled into ACDC leadership, and I love it. I don't love it because I'm a leader, considered a president. I love it because I'm serving the community. And to me, that is the most gratifying thing, is to just put together amazing events to serve the community, grow the women's league, grow the scene, and see it moving upwards, right?
Yeah.
So for women's league, this year was the first wildflower tour that was put together by the Mint Pro ladies and organized with women TDs throughout Texas. So me and Debbie Anders both I ran my tournament in the spring. Debbie's tournament's coming up in October. That'll be at the Zip as part of the Wildflower Tour. So being a part of that and seeing that grow into like just the next version next year. It's like we're making history right now.
And is that kind of similar to like the hot tour? Like
Yeah,
okay,
it is.
I didn't know if you had to.
Is
like,
it a part of
play
it, or
every
is it
event?
just a
It's
branch of
separate.
it?
Okay.
It's separate, and it's all women. So I think the 7th stop on the tour is Debbie's event in October, and then the final will be the WTF Open in November out at the ranch. So that's 8 full women's tournaments in the state of Texas, and so that's just huge. Like you see like the WG event that happens every other year, and that's usually the biggest all women's tournament that Texas sees. And here we have 8 this year, and it's growing stronger and stronger. So next year is going to be even bigger, and we're just so excited to be involved in that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and guys, volunteer. When you see these events going on, everyone volunteers for, other tournaments, whatnot. So when you see this on, let's grow the sport, right? Let's volunteer. Let's see how they need help, sponsorships. Reach out, because that's how we're gonna get everything to the next level and keep it going.
Oh yeah. Tell us about this disc. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna skip my question. I'll
That's
come
okay.
back to it, but go
It's
ahead.
okay. So
Maybe
I
you
just
can.
got the UFOs. Camera's on this side. Which side?
That way.
This side. Just got the UFOs in the mail today. They're a fun surprise. This one's a soft, and I immediately loved it.
It's in the Royal Plastic.
Yeah, it's in royal plastic.
Shout out to the guys at Mint, Guy
Yeah.
and Zach.
Zach, Chris. It feels great. This is my
Yeah.
first time touching it.
It has a very small micro V, which I like.
I'm a little scared because it almost feels like it could maybe take over the profit in my bag, but we'll get there when we cross that bridge.
Yeah, I could see that. Right now, I've been putting with Castipas Ricos for like 3 years, and so I was hoping that this would come out and replace them. So I'm gonna absolutely give
Put
it a
some
shot.
work in with it, huh?
Yeah, it feels it.
Have you thrown it, Kevin?
Feels good in my
Hey, no.
hand.
I've held it, and I'm not sure if I should say this, but to me, it's got that classic AVR mold. It's like Mint's been missing that really classic AVR style. And to me, this is like a KC AVR, which is awesome.
Nice. That's great, right? They're providing options. I mean, I know I haven't been playing disc golf long, but when I first entered, like you, Amy, weirdly, my favorite go-to disc, I lost it, I'll cry, is my it's my 0220, my Apex Bobcat, pretty much.
I love it.
0220, right? So weirdly, I had a couple buddies be very generous and give me some like Eternal Mustangs, first run Bobcats, second run Bobcats when I first started, and so happens that I've just kept them over the years, and now I've seen it grow from the Alpha Mustang that they had when
Grackle.
they didn't even have that when they started off.
Oh, yeah,
it was
yeah.
like 5 discs, and now seeing the Grackle, the Diamondback,
Go.
the Goat,
Lobster.
my baby, the Goat, Lobster.
The lobster.
Yeah, and more to come. I know that. So it's exciting seeing them grow, and then you becoming a part of that team. I'm jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I throw a lot of Mint, so I think you popped into a good sponsorship, and gonna like your
I
bag.
wish you well in this upcoming season.
Yeah. I wish you.
And
Are you gonna
how
play a
can
little bit
they?
more tournaments now? Like I don't know how many you play now, but is this going to like kind of like encourage you to get out there more?
I mean, it's relative. It's all about my time and how I
Yeah.
want to spend my time.
Right.
And so I told, actually, this year's the year I played the most tournaments, and it's because of the women's tour. So I told Kevin at the beginning of the year, like, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to play all the women's tour tournaments, and then you can play every other one, right? Like, try to balance that out.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I do. I probably at this point I don't play as many tournaments as I would like, but I honestly I love running minis and running league, and kind of I have a lot of priorities. I want to keep women's league going and kind of leading ACDC this year, and a few other things, and then also just making sure I spend quality time with my son. And I have a day job too.
It's
so
hard to
I've
have
gotta-
so many loves, right?
I know. Yeah, I've got to kind of prioritize and just be careful with my time and make
Yeah.
sure I have time for the things that are fun.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to lose the fun.
Yeah, for sure. But then again, we might as well do it while we're young, right? I mean, yeah, I could say we could do it later too, because it is a sport. I heard it once with golf, and I feel the same thing. It's it's a sport you can play pretty much forever. That's why there's, MP. I've seen it for the first time ever. I think it was Cold War, so I saw MP70, and I was like, dang, like that. You got to get out
I
there.
was 7 still alive. I'd be happy.
Yeah.
If I were playing disc golf, I'd be even
No
happy.
kidding, man. So it's great. Like I said, people, if you're not currently on it, I know a lot of people have gone to our page and liked it and viewed it that don't play disc golf. So if you never tried it before and know what we're talking about here, like definitely give it a try. If you don't want to even, if reach out
Just
to
come
me
out
and
and have fun
Rob,
with us.
we'll
Come and
buy
walk
you
with
some
us.
discs. We got a ton of discs that we can throw your way just to help grow the sport. So reach out to us. And I know there's people all across the city, including the two right in front of us, Amy and Kevin, that will always be willing to help with growing the game and, give you a try. You never know if it could be your next passion.
I'll go back to advice for new player.
Yeah, go advice for any new player.
I want that.
Both
Kevin's
of you,
ready.
yeah.
Kevin's ready for it.
I love it.
My one piece of advice is to jump right into the community. Some people get like they're new, so they're worried that they're gonna slow a card down or people or there be a burden to the people they're playing with.
Or they're playing teamed up or so, like
Yeah.
like
Or it's random doubles and every single
Right.
time someone doesn't want to be their partner. It's the disc golf community is not like that.
Oh, not here in San Antonio.
Right.
It's a very inclusive community,
Yeah.
and I love that about the San Antonio scene. It's
Yeah.
just, it's a great community. It really is something different, and that's great advice. That really is. Just come out and play, have fun, and make sure that just try your best, and you'll get better with practice. And
it's also like the best way to get better fast is by playing with people who know what they're doing. So
Yeah.
they give you the disc. Like I can't tell you how many discs I still bag that were given to me 10 years ago. Just like, hey, you should try to throw this. Do it, and it worked well, and it's been in my bag for 10 years. That kind of thing. And
Give and disc are the best, aren't they?
yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
I like funny you say that. Whenever we had Pro Line on, Mark, Kevin Fullman, right? My first mini ever random dubs, I got paired up with Mark, and at that point I was like, cool, I'm gonna go play because I thought I was good. Then I played with them, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so far from good right now. But Mark was so cool about it, man. He was like, dude, run everything, I got you. And I was like, all right, dude, I'm pretty good too. And then we started throwing. I was like, okay, this dude's like good. And like, sure enough, man, like he was welcoming. We actually ended up placing. It was my first mini ever, but I mean, I can't. There was a couple of shots I gave him, which we were able to tap in. But yeah, other than that, Amy's telling the truth. Don't be scared. Get out there, and you'll even surprise yourself. You might be a little hesitant. I don't know if I'm good enough, this or that. It doesn't even matter. You're gonna have fun. And two, again, you're probably gonna surprise yourself and be like, man, you know what? I'm not bad. There's a lot of people that are on my level. It just kind of sucks. Sometimes you'll have a rec player playing with a pro player or a high level player. It could be a little discouraging. So yeah, I mean, it's even better when you get out to these minis because you're able to play with people of your experience and where you're at in your game, and you can actually see. It's just a little encouraging, right? You're able to just kind of get a little bit better, and you don't even know it. So give it a try, come out.
And just to add a comment to what you said, and the community is really welcoming, but I think the other important piece to that is the relationships that are built and the people that you meet. You meet a lot of very good people, and I met some of my best friends playing and having a good time, and just it's a great feeling. But yeah, definitely some great advice from you, Amy. Kevin, I know you've been dying and itching to answer this question. So what's a piece of advice you would give a beginner or an amateur coming into the disc golf
or never play?
Yeah, just brand new. I mean, these are all great points. Getting out there, just get into a mini. Don't be scared of it. Just get out there and throw and playing with people that are better than you. And I would say to add on to that, was like, don't listen to too much to local players. People will kind of think they're good at a shot and be like, oh yeah, you should do this. When it's just like, okay, maybe that works for them, but I don't know. The disc golf form has been perfected so much. You should go on YouTube and get tutorials. People break down the form and stuff, but really you need to fall in love with the game first. So I don't know, maybe watch a little bit, then get out there and just wing it. Don't worry about your score, and probably you should just be throwing putters and mid ranges. And if you want to get as good as you can, as fast as you can, that's going to be the ticket.
Oh yeah, definitely, because the nose angle and your angles coming out, it's going to give you immediate feedback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you kind of start with the YouTube tutorials, and even if you can find
Which one, is there one that you'd recommend, or who did you really model or try to really look at? I know you looked at a lot, I bet, but which one you would definitely recommend watching?
Well, when I started 20 years ago, that wasn't out there, so I just taught myself the game, and I was always kind of like a solo player. I just went out by myself, and I just taught myself, and my form's really weird because of that. But nowadays, I like Scott Stokely. He's a little bit quirky.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
I think
I met him at NGGT.
I think he's a
Cool
great
guy.
introductory
He's
person.
really big too.
But if you're local, get a lesson with Mason Ford, get a lesson with Bradley Williams. Those are, I would say.
So would you say you grew your game around your disc, or did you grow your disc around your game, like your throw?
I grew my game around the disc for sure, because I was throwing a lot of DX rocks, and old T-birds and leopards and stuff. So I'm like very much a hyzer flip player, which can kind of hold me back because I always want a hyzer flip.
Better not be a windy day.
So how do you take to
Exactly.
the discs that are made these days? Because obviously I know that the quality is different.
What are you bagging these days? I look at your disc and I love watching you throw that hyzer flip, and I'm just like so
Oh.
jealous. I'm like,
Yeah,
do
so
it really well, and
like
especially
drawing.
woods.
The other day at McLean, I had a good round of McLean the other day, and it's like,
Oh, shout out to you!
Great round.
You were fighting at McLean at the Kraken Chains Open, and
1001 rated. Let's go.
so that'll be like my M4. I'm using that a lot with the T.
Oh, yeah.
Flipping mid range.
Tasmanian?
I'm using like Prodigy.
Prodigy, the M4. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's not MD.
Not the MD4.
Yeah. So M4 is like their
Still
flipping
that
mid range. And then I was using like my Night Strike a lot. Discmania, kind of like a beat-in Night Strike. I was probably throwing those 2 discs on most of the holes. So just a lot of hyzer flips,
Yeah.
straight shots.
Putter?
I'm using Lunas.
Lunas.
Yeah.
Any particular Luna, like the Jawbreaker, or the what is the plastic, the clear one?
Yeah, I guess it's like the special rubber blend plastic.
That's soft, a little softer.
They're kind of stiff. They're a little bit tacky. I don't know. They got a great blend of like tackiness and stiffness for me, I think.
Nice, okay.
Other than that, I don't know. I pretty much I throw the Wraith. That's kind of like my distance driver of choice.
You like the glide on it, huh?
Yeah, and it's kind of like variants like Firebird, Wraith, something like an FD.
What's your favorite shot other than the hyzer flip that you feel you do really well?
Other than the hyzer flip, I mean,
I
there's
thought
like
you
there's
do,
different.
but your game's pretty full.
There's types of hyzer flips, so
What's your favorite type of hyzer flip?
So yeah, if I
Like
can,
the distance one.
yeah, if I can like release a hyzer flip, have it go to flat, and then like slowly have it drift to the right, that's gonna be my favorite. Say like whole Ford McLean, from the regular the regular box,
You know
feel
what
it.
shot I think of? I think of hole 18 out at Moody's on the fire on the mountain side.
Mm.
Hole 18 where it's a Mando here and you gotta go shoot like a hyzer flip shot around the left side, bring it back in right up the hill. That's what I'm imagining right now. I don't know if you know.
I'm confusing the 2 courses. I think
I get them confused too.
Yeah.
They're both hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to go there.
And Moody's has different layouts. Moody's actually had like 10 different layouts, and since he's been opening his courses up
Really?
25, 30 years ago, yeah, he's had John Hook come out there in the past and do layouts. But I've talked to Moody about it. He's like, he likes to do it, and I get it. It's fun to design a course. That's the best part about it.
It's cool though. I mean,
it's just fun.
I dig the layout. It's pretty cool.
Oh, it's
great. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Definitely fun.
love the course. Awesome. See pads just throwing out there or turf, right? But that's a whole nother conversation. Other than that, guys, I mean, the course is immaculate. Plays well. It will not stop me from going out there. Although I heard there could be a possible A tier out there of that
They
chase.
gotta add those cement T-pads.
Yeah, they have to have something. But again, guys,
Or
if you haven't made it out there, go out to Moody's. It's a top course in Texas.
I'm in the Austin area, right?
It's out
Outside
in
of Austin.
Red Rock, yeah, about
Red
45 minutes outside of Austin, not too far. But you wanted to plan
It's a nice drive, too.
2 courses.
Watch out for the cows.
Yes, and the cow patties.
Those are
Yeah.
nasty.
But yeah, going back to it, I mean, personally, right? We asked this to everyone, right? What are your favorite courses to play here in San Antonio? Top course, right? I mean, I know that's everyone's preference, and then best course overall. Because I know Kevin, you said you traveled quite a bit.
So
Yeah.
let's go local, and then let's go around
Nation.
the country.
Yeah, national.
Local, just like my personal favorite. I don't know if it's the best course, but I like McLean the most.
Okay.
I think Hillside's the best if we're talking about city limits. And overall, it's a toss up between like Smugs and Maple Hill, maybe for me.
Nice.
Those are both amazing.
And those are coming up too. We'll transition to that here in a minute. How about you, Amy?
Local UC.
You see,
Oh.
UC.
Chris's
My
kryptonite.
favorite.
I'll
C
tell
Rod's
you what.
kryptonite.
I love it. UC will it'll show you your weak spots right away.
Oh yeah, and they've done a lot of good work here recently.
Oh, yeah.
They fixed a lot of unsafe things, and they made them safe. I played a mini there. I believe it was Wednesday, and they've done some good things there. And you haven't checked out Universal City Disc Golf Course? They're starting to have more tournaments. The city's doing a lot of clearing. They're doing a lot of manicuring, a lot of Mando work, a lot of the T-pads they've moved that were challenging, kind of unsafe, but at the same time, check that one out. So how about nationally?
Probably Beaver Creek.
Beaver
Colorado.
Creek, Colorado. Oh yeah. I've heard about. I have never played it, but definitely we got to make it out there.
Yeah, dude, I would
Road
love
trip.
to play any course outside of Texas.
Sipapu. I forgot to mention Sipapu in New Mexico. That place is special.
We changed both that.
I forgot about San Never played that course either, so I guess I got to make it out there.
Yeah.
Also, De La Vega. I don't know. It's hard. I'm gonna say like a top 5.
It's hard, right? It's like, man,
Yeah.
I like this course, but I like this course. That's how it is even here in San Antonio. It's like, well, I like this, and then
We play all over.
Yeah, even I mean, what's weird though is like you can go anywhere, but they have great courses here in Texas, and they're developing more. I mean, the Ranch, right? You got
Turkey Ridge.
Moody's,
Turkey
oh my
Ridge.
God, Turkey Ridge. Man, I fell in love
Shout out
with
to
it out
Justin
there.
Davis
Right. You don't.
and Colton.
We have. So I guess I go to Austin, and I'm jealous because you have the Roy G's and the Circle C's where you can
What they've done at
bomb
Reggie.
and whatnot. Yeah, Roy G's beautiful. And then you get over here to San Antonio, and you can't. There's a couple courses, couple holes, but it's
Championship
all wooded.
courses.
But then you get out to places like Turkey Ridge, and it's great, right? But I will tell you, I guess our technical game in San Antonio is pretty good.
The other thing, speaking of, the MVP Open, that's coming up.
And the championships.
And the Worlds is coming up. So I'm gonna have to ask. Have you been watching the tour on the DGN, or have you been keeping up with what's going on?
Yes.
So
No.
so Kevin, who do you got and why? I want the champion and I want a dark horse for Worlds, MPO, FPO.
It's Paul because he's Paul. And
Paul because he's Paul. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just there's a stat like he
I
hasn't
just
finished
saw that.
less than second in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
But I would say dark horse, Isaac Robinson. That's who I kind of think is
Oh,
going
you
to
just.
I know, he
put it
stole
in Rob's
mine.
boat over here.
Yeah. I love Isaac Robinson,
Yeah.
man.
And then you can't bet against Tatar.
So Tatar, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one.
If someone did take out Tatar, who would it be?
Yeah, Missy Gannon.
I'd say Missy. Yeah.
I say Owen.
Owen too. Well, Owen's just man.
He just had a big win at Great Lakes, right? Dilo?
What?
I think she depends on the flex too much for these courses, though.
Right.
I think that's
For the game doesn't fit her. A lot of people thought that about Dilo too, but
Yes.
the year before, weirdly enough, she finished second too. So looking out for that too. So you got Tatar taking it. So your dark horse, you got. If anybody's gonna take her out, it's probably gonna be Missy.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope Valerie plays well. And
Man,
Alexis plays
I mean,
well.
of course we would want to see
I would
that.
love to see
Yeah,
them in
it's
that
suspicious
chase
that-
card and final card.
Yeah.
So who you got on the you said your dark horse was that, Amy? Who do you got? I know you haven't been watching and keeping up a whole lot, but who do you got?
I really do not follow Pro Tour, and I know. Maybe I should. I've never been
Into watching it?
I've never been into watching any sports.
Really?
Ever. No, it's not my thing. I'd rather play them. So if I have any spare time, like to sit down and watch something long enough, like and not be interrupted, I'd rather be on the course. So,
Same.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
but
Who's
yeah,
a
I mean,
favorite that you?
Who-
Tatar. I mean,
Yeah.
I love watching Tatar play.
Yeah.
How about MPO?
Man, I don't even
You're gonna say Zach Melton, aren't you?
No. I like James Conrad. I'd say if I were to pick someone and watch him throw.
Proving he can do it.
Yeah.
Holy shot, man!
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come
It's
back.
not easy. I don't
So-
care what you say, lucky this or that. The fact that he was there in the first place, pushing at the top, like that's not easy. So, I mean, and then to pull off a skill shot
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
So here's who I got. I got, and this isn't a stretch, but I think he's due. It's gonna be Simon. I think Simon's gonna take Worlds.
That'd be cool.
And I think it fits his game. I mean, his game translates anywhere, but if he's on, and my dark horse obviously would be Isaac Robinson.
I mean, you know who mine is.
Oh,
All
yeah.
day. Calvin Heinberg, I think is. I mean, he's right there.
He's gotta get over that hump,
proven-
man.
Exactly, and maybe this is the year he. At the end of the day, I mean,
But he
Calvin's
played out of his
fine.
mind in that last round. He had two
Yeah.
throw-in eagles,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he was,
he's playing very good.
I think he was 8 under through 5 holes
Yeah.
or something like that.
He
I was like-
was 755, and then he went like 9.
yeah, he didn't finish strong, but he
But the thing is I people look like, oh, he fell apart. He didn't fall apart. He's like what he
the
said.
course
Like,
is that
pushing
course is
the-
hard.
He's pushing for the win.
Toboggan, right?
He's not
Toboggan in,
looking
was
to
in
par
Michigan,
out,
right?
Right.
Yeah.
And he's not looking to par out. And
No, he was, and then
second
he was
or third.
he was
He wanted a win.
at that point he was pressing the issue, and I think that's why he
Right.
kind of I didn't say fall apart, but I think he got a few strokes where he probably shouldn't have. So for FPO, I'm gonna have to go obviously with Tatar, but after what happened in Europe, I think she had a 16-point lead or 16 stroke lead.
She shot 8 over, which I know.
But I think that's gonna affect her mental game. I really do. That lingering effect, I really do, and I think she's still gonna win. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
I'm not too worried about her mental game. I think it's more.
It's always been strong. Don't get me wrong. Her game is solid. I think that's one of the best parts of her game. But for her to be that emotional, I know she wanted that European Championship. But for her to kind of, I didn't say she fell apart. I guess she just kind of wanted it really bad.
She had been hurt.
And she said no. I mean, she had a long Instagram post and she said no. That's not what it was. And it was the, trying too hard, and wanting it really bad. And sometimes, when you force the issue, the trees are going to make you pay and OBs are going to make you pay. And when you try harder, sometimes it's like you slip more into that quicksand and it gets worse and it gets worse. And then you start throwing disc and it's like a Chris over here. You start punching trees. He doesn't do that. No, just kidding.
Anymore. No, it can get frustrating, guys. But I think that's been the biggest part is switching, like me, still on, trying to get up there. But for me, that was my biggest, I think, overcoming is like, once I learned how to just forget about a hole and move on, like it just opened my game up so much more because I would just get mad, close myself off, and then have a bad round. But
then you wouldn't talk to me the whole round.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I go, Chris, hey man. And his eyes are like,
no, Rob. Guys, if you never play with Rob, I'm over here trying to shoot in a tournament. He's like, it's a big basket, so don't miss.
Oh yeah, it's a big basket in a big ocean.
Honestly, I'm a tough stand kind of guy. I never get mad at anything. I actually love challenges, and I can only blame a mistake on myself.
Oh yeah.
So always keep that in mind. So hold yourself accountable and work on it.
The only way you're going to get better is if you get out there in that field and don't expect to be good unless you're throwing every day.
Right.
That muscle memory and the Masons, the Bradley Williams, the Emersons, they're the only reason they are good. Nico too, you can throw him in there. There's a lot of them, but because they practice.
Consistent. They stay consistent.
And they have obviously good mechanics and stuff like that, but it's not how big you are, how small you are, it's definitely that power pocket. And definitely having that, that's the revolutions of the disc and figuring that out.
It's weird. I went out to because my arm was kind of injured, so I went out to Hillside just to kind of get practicing, kind of see how it was feeling, and I threw a whole round with a glitch and a profit, and I actually shot even at Hillside from the mixed layout.
Oh wow.
But I guess that I told my brother because
I guarantee you, the next time you play, your game is gonna be
right.
solid.
I played today by myself when I got a quick round, and it was weird because I was feeling like I brought those habits all over from throwing the glitch, and it was just calm because I didn't want to stress my shoulders, so I was just throwing nice and calm. I was like, man, I just overthink stuff. I overthink stuff. I'm trying to throw too hard, and it was getting an effortless distance today by just focusing on the rotation of the disc and whatnot. So I guess what I'm trying to get to all this is sometimes if you're struggling or you're having issues, just kind of take it back to the basics and go slow. Kind of restart a little bit, and maybe you'll find that mistake on your own on what you were doing wrong, or maybe you weren't doing enough of something. So yeah, definitely go back to the basics.
So thank you guys so much for coming on this podcast. We appreciate all that you do for the community. And Chris, you know them for a while, and shout out to all your sponsors, to Mint, and definitely to the Monahan Ranch. Check it out if you haven't checked it out. Sign up for the tournament on Disc Golf Scene. You got to Flex. September 2nd.
It's already open registration.
Oh, no, September 1st. September 1st, right? Opens up?
September 1st.
September 1st on Disc Golf Scene. So sign up for that C tier. It's going to be a well-run event. I know it because Amy's behind it.
Yes. We're going to have another flex room by Debbie Anders on October 1st. So that'll be a week before our tournament.
So people will go on.
And that'll be also be a Wildflower Tour fundraiser. So
nice.
It'll be a flex for Monahan Ranch, but also a fundraiser. So y'all make sure to hit that one too.
Yeah, guys, get out there. Again, these are courses we don't regularly get to play on. That's what makes it more exciting. and hopefully, it humbles you as well. So, I'm excited to go and get humbled because, Kevin talks to me about those low beanie lines you have to do.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Look forward to hitting the future.
Yeah.
It's not all though.
It's weird because, we went out to Turkey Ridge and there were some holes that got me, man. I even went out about twice on a hole and I was like, I ain't done that in a while. And sure enough, though, I still had the most fun I've had in a while. So I could imagine, fun level that being compared to what
Especially
we're
made
gonna
by
have out
a
there.
disc golfer who loves the game.
Yeah, it's a lot of shots under 300 feet. So in my mind, they're all aceable except one. So if you like acing holes,
Nice.
Come out. But thank you guys once again. So that's our show for today. Thank you so much. Thank you, C-Rod,
Appreciate it,
for
Rob.
awesome night. You guys have a great, safe night. This is the Disc and That podcast show. Please join us on all our social media platforms. Thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to a special guest next week. We're going to have Mr. Jimmy Zamora and Alan Jensen next week at the Mint Disc.
The legend.
So, the local legend.
And Kevin, Amy, thanks again.
Thank you.
So thank you guys again. Have a good night.